very long time. You know, just recognized, played on the international stage a whole lot. I have to feel that if I were to look at these 2v2s, NL and Maple should, in theory, have the edge.
Yeah, you definitely have to think so. I mean, these guys, you know, NL even was recently a pro in 2016.
Yeah.
You know, he won the LMS. Maple and the Flash Wolves in general have been running the LMS for so long. That dynasty now kind of ending in the offseason as a lot of those different players have gone their own ways. But this is a pretty stacked squad. NL still is a big time streamer. He's a very high rated player, active as well, so kind of similar to the BRTT Yoda team. This is again 2 super high level players. Maple, one of the best mid laners in the world, and we're going to see how Riku and G4 can match up.
All right, let's see what they decide to lock in. Slightly different bans this time around. I have to feel they're targeted to Riku. I have to feel that Lux and Sona, with her reaction, is somewhat targeted. The Draven taken away from G4. Lucian, Alistair, Nico denied towards NL and Maple. Now, some old legacy picks. Kennen used to be one of like the top tier 1v1 champions. Ranged auto attacks plus mobility plus CC plus all in. Like, it feels like he's one of the best all-round type picks.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You know, as you say, it's like not only can Varus Kennen push, but if you hit level 6, if you do land a stun with Kennen, you can easily follow it up with the Varus ultimate. That is a really strong all-in potential there. But there is a tremendous amount of push on the other side here as well. You're looking at Talia as well as the Karma. These guys certainly can shove, do have a lot of poke, and if you can land one of those seismic shoves, that is going to be devastating for 2 relatively squishy champions on the side here of NL and Maple.
What I like as well, the Karma Talia has disengaged tools against a Chain of Corruption all-in classic Maelstrom. So, you can use the Karma E both aggressively and defensively. With the Mantra on top of you, you've got a root. Defensive seismic shoves can prevent an all-in. So if I were looking, on the side of Riku and G4, I would almost play the shove 100 CS game in this 2v2.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I think that, Karma comes up, you Mantra Q, the back line, you have a Talia Q going out there as well. You can pretty much insta-clear that wave very, very quickly. It does become a bit more tricky. If you're trying to play for 100 CS, you're going to allow them to both get their ultimates on the other side. Yeah. And then there can be this kind of push and pull where you see Maple and NL trying to kind of zone you off the minions and freezing the wave and doing these things to try to set up for their own all-in. But this could be a very exciting one.
All right, let's see how it works out. I'm a fan of the 2v2 names, so I'm just going to keep running through them. Riku and G4, known as R4. And over the other side, Maple and NL. They are known as Naple.
Naple?
I'm going to be very careful with that one. We'll see how both squads will do.
Well, and NL stands for never lose, so it could just be never Maple,
Look,
Maple lose. Maple lose isn't as cool, though.
I've seen never lose on the international stage.
How dare you?
So it's a little bit disingenuous.
You take it back.
It's a bit disingenuous, all right? So I'm just going to say, not a literal interpretation.
You think someone would just go on the internet and lie like that, Trevor?
Me? No. The internet is full of only the truth sayers. Really intelligent people.
That's true.
All right, so a little bit of poking back and forth. Nothing really substantial to speak of. Flashes in all parties. Defensive summoners on the side of Southeast Asia with the heal and the barrier. So I think that's going to lean in again to this kind of shove and CS approach.
Yeah, but even without something like an Ignite, if you do ever hit that seismic shove, or if Riku can get an actual root, you get like a root into a seismic shove, your all-in potential there is still pretty darn high.
I feel like pre-6, the kill powers on the side of Southeast Asia, post-6, it swaps heavily onto the side of LMS. So, at least until we get to the later stages, Maple and NL need to be very, very careful not to get caught out by a combo, because Mantra Q into Seismic Shove just makes it very easy if you're in that slow zone.
Yeah, totally. I mean, as you say, Talia at 6, no combat ultimate. Karma starts with her ultimate at level 1. Obviously, it does upgrade as you do hit 6, but certainly the all-in potential can be heavily on the side there of the LMS post 6. And so far, though, they're winning early as well. I mean, they're just being better with their skill shots, hitting skill shot after skill shot. And the poke on the side with an Airy Cannon and as well with a Comet Varus is very high.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. Especially on an energy champion that doesn't need mana. Like, Maple's Cannon is just so frustrating. Looking at the minimap, looking at the Rift rather, G4 also needs to pay attention to his workaround. So, you know, when you have Summoner's Rift and there's a lot more room to maneuver and multiple ways you can get in and out of a lane, Murder Bridge, not so much.
Yeah, and I mean, I also think especially if you are caught under your own turret. If you're stuck under your own turret, there's much less ground to work with. If you have the push, you can kind of manipulate the waves so that you're always moving around and having more area to get that work ground, to get those, big cues going out. But if you're stuck under your turret, there's not a lot going on there. We do see Biscuits are taken on the side here for the LMS team. On the other side for the SEA, they were kind of more of a defensive approach instead of the sustain approach, which may be tough. Because you have to be scared about the all-in at 6, but they also still have a ton of poke. And potions are already gone for G4. There is one left for Riku.
I really like the theory. I really like the theory of this Talia and Karma. And I think they're just being a little bit outskilled by Maple and NL. This is, of course, the 2v2 Pro-Am. Pro-Am, very good burst of damage by G4 rather. But Pro-Am is a term that I'm not super familiar with. Being South African, living in Europe, professionals and amateurs coming side by side to play with one another. G4 has professional experience. Riku, a caster and streamer and content creator. So, coming together, there's this mix of worlds as we go through all of the 2v2s. And right now with a 36-16 CS advantage, Maple and NL from the LMS, they're just doing really well. Yeah,
they're doing really well. And I think so much of the event is going to be about figuring out what is going to work for your unique strengths. You have to look and say, as G4 barely able to get out of there, but you have to look and think, okay, what is our best chance at winning, right? Is it an all-in strategy? Is it playing for poke? Is it looking to shove and take turrets? And, just kind of trying to play to your own unique strengths as players and as a team.
Yeah. And also, to a degree, thinking about how the other 2v2 plays the game. Once Picks and Bans is done, now, you never know what they're going to do. You don't know if Captain Jack and Faker are going to be playing the same AD carry support style, right?
Yeah.
But once you see that 2v2, you have that minute to interpret how the playstyle is going to work, when your peaks and troughs in power are going to be, cater your keystones and then play towards it. Because I think Maple and NL, if an opportunity for an all-in presents itself, they can go for it. But now they've got this, safety net with a gigantic CS advantage, really good poke, so they can just play for 100 and take it from there.
Yep. They are heavily ahead here so far in the CS department, and looking really good. I mean, we have a serrated Dirk buy as well here for NL, so all about the poke on the Varus. And they have just been avoiding almost all of the Karma Qs, which I think is really, making a tremendous difference here.
All right, good damage onto G4. Maple's able to get away scot-free, not a single touch. 20 CS is the lead that is building up, but also this tower is slowly being chipped away. So, if NL and Maple, with a fair amount of attack damage, can get some autos, I mean, this tower's down 60% hit points. If that tower falls, that might be the first tower victory. Because we haven't had any CS victories yet, right? Both previous ones were double kills.
Yep, we have seen a lot of kills, and that Q might have been a kill right there had it actually landed onto G4, who's, again, out of potions. So it's getting really tough. I mean, if he gets sent back to base again, they already are down, 20 CS here, so it's going to get tough, but doesn't have much choice, as will be sent back to base, and we're going to see level 6s coming in pretty soon here for the LMS side. You can see that Maple's just about to ding 6, and then they have the potential of that all-in as well, so they have kind of all the options still on the table here for themselves.
So I haven't been tracking it, but this game, roughly 6 minutes, 10 seconds is when the team in the lead, the CS advantage, hits level 6. I want to keep tracking that and just see what sort of differences we get as the games play out, because we've had very wildly different picks and bans already. Yeah. And I don't feel like we're going to find the optimal duos today. I think after today's games play out and tomorrow we come back for the rounds that are deeper down. Look at that. Burst damage onto G4, remember? He's already going to be backing away. Good route by Riku, but there's no follow-up. Enough damage. Some of the heal was used. The Ignite is blown down as well. Weaver's Wall will buy some time. 74 CS to 42. G4 and Riku, they need to find a way to punish Maple and NL's the only way to come back in this game.
Yeah, we'll see if they can. I mean, 2 summoners are at least down for the LMS side, so summoner advantage on the side here of the SEA. We'll see if they can actually look for any potential all-in, but that is probably going to be very tough to do, as the LMS team doesn't have to go for an all-in. They can just sit back. They can use their CS advantage. They can, play for that sort of style. We'll find out if they're going to be able to find any of those openings. But with G4 already so low, it's really tough.
Yeah, it really is. Well, take a look at
go.
Flash engage. That'll be the first kill. Really easily done. Follow-up stun onto Riku. Forced to flash. Save her life. Riku will need to go back soon. So Flash is available for G4. It's only a 16 CS game now. In favor of the LMS. As soon as it hits 100, they will pick up a win. Remind me now, Varus was pretty popular in the 1v1s of the 2v2s of years gone by, right?
Yeah, Varus definitely has been one of the really popular champions there. I mean, you have such good poke. You actually do have reasonable all-in at 6 as well, and he has good wave clear. There's like a lot of things going for this champion that make him pretty tough to deal with, especially on a map like this where there's not a lot of room to kind of navigate and get around behind a Varus. You can't flank him. You can't do anything like that, and there's also, a lot of skill shot champions are even stronger on this map simply because it's not that wide, right? When you are down around that turret, there's not a tremendous amount of room to kind of navigate and move around.
Like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yep.
As they'll... I'm quite surprised. We saw Talia banned in the Summoners Rift NA vs EU match earlier. I saw Talia picked here. When I was coming in looking at Prep 23-24, especially talking to Medius, we were under the assumption that Talia may not be seen at all. Chain of Corruption goes wide. Never Lose is going to miss the most missed skill shot in professional play. And now Maple's going to get shoved around. 2 CS remaining, 1 CS remaining. This is the 100 CS victory for the LMS. I think someone expected. They played their 2v2 well, and they played to the win condition of 100 CS.
Yeah, well played to them. They were definitely in control of the whole